Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So obviously Donald Trump is surging in the polls and Joe Biden is tanking all the way down to the bottom of the sea with SpongeBob and the rest of those shipwrecks. And whenever that happens, it always triggers the same event in the media. Total mass media panic and hysteria. And we've been covering that over the last couple of weeks, the sheer panic in the Democrat establishment media. It plays out in multiple different ways. And of course, most of the time it tends to be ridiculous and funny. Well, this time's no exception, of course. Ridiculous and funny are probably the two perfect words to describe what's currently going on. These blue anon Democrats, specifically these Twitter Democrats, have gotten so incredibly desperate as everything they've tried has failed. Obviously, the witch hunts have failed spectacularly one after another, and so now what they're resorting to, this last act of desperation, well, it just has to be one of the most pathetic things, or one of the most pathetic tactics I think I've ever witnessed. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, friends. So we all know Joe Biden's brain no work.
Clearly losing the war in Iraq. He's losing the war at home.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
And this is obviously a concern to most American citizens, even Democrats. People don't want Joe to run again. It's one of his, I'd say, campaign weak points, which people keep hitting on. I mean, Joe Rogan mentioned it not too long ago with Bill Maher. We covered that clip.
It still doesn't take away from the fact that there's something wrong with Biden. Like, he makes up words, he stumbles through things. It seems like he doesn't know where he is half the time. He's very, very old. That's my problem with him.
And so obviously it's an issue that Democrats have to contend with. I mean, to be fair, I think Joe Biden's cognitive state alone, I mean, his cognitive state itself could tank his campaign alone. And Democrats obviously know this, and so their response initially was to pretend that it didn't exist, to keep saying that Joe Biden is not just fit, but he's the greatest thing ever. That obviously never worked, because people have these things called eyeballs. And so the latest tactic is to distract away from Joe Biden's clear worsening dementia and to keep pointing the finger at Donald Trump to try to flip the script, claiming Donald Trump is actually the one who isn't well and has dementia. You guys are gonna get a kick out of this. This is how desperate the Democrats are to paint now Donald Trump as being in a state of cognitive decline. Here's a clip of Savage Donnie making fun of Joe Biden.
Does anybody think he's gonna make it to the starting gate? I mean, the guy can't find his way off of a stage. Look, here's the stage. Here's the stage. I've never seen this stupid stage before, right? I've never seen it. But if I walk left, there's a stair. And if I walk right, there's a stair. And this guy gets up. Where am I? Where the hell am I?
So that's Donald Trump making fun of Joe. You know, the typical thing that we've seen a million times before. Either Joe Biden in the middle of an interaction with a reporter, like kind of just wandering off camera.
Every American, whether they voted for me or not.
Well, and the ones that didn't vote for your bills but run on them.
That's right.
Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate
it's great to have you. It's great to have you. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. It's a very exciting day around here.
Or Joe not knowing how to get off a stage.
Thank you. What am I doing? I'm going out here.
Or, of course, Joe during a ceremony, just walking off the stage before the ceremony comes to an end. You know, if you see the Donald Trump clip in context, you immediately know what he's referencing. And so desperate blue anon Democrats on Twitter thought to themselves, the best thing to do with this clip is this: to take a 13-second snippet of the clip, where Donald Trump is imitating Joe Biden looking confused, and to tweet it out to their viewers with the caption, quote, "Dementia Donnie." That's a tweet from Rob Filipkowski, who's the editor-in-chief at Midas Touch, a leftist DNC outlet. Their new tactic is to claim that actually Donald Trump has dementia. Donald Trump is very unwell. And what did they do? They used a clip of Donald Trump imitating Joe Biden. Of course, Twitter community notes immediately stepped in to clear up the story. Trump prefaced this video by stating he was mimicking Biden, which the poster fails to make clear, leading to many replies believing Trump is being serious in this video. Yup, that's the most recent Democrat strategy. Take clips of Donald Trump making fun of and pretending to be Joe Biden, and then make the claim online that Donald Trump has dementia. Now, you guys see why I always call these people crackheads, right? You know, these are the people who are constantly talking about fake news. They are the #1 purveyors of fake news. This is literally what they do. Selectively editing clips and promoting totally fabricated false evidence and narratives, then pointing the finger at the other side, claiming that's what the other side is doing. Give me a frickin' break. The funniest part is they think this is gonna work. I mean, it may with people who have like sub 80 IQ, but obviously for the most part, it's not gonna work because not everyone is dumb as your average Democrat. I mean, holy moly, who's actually taking this stuff seriously? These poor Democrat souls, man. I mean, half of them still believe that Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 unarmed black men. Half of them still believe that Donald Trump called white nationalists in Charlottesville very fine people. Now you're gonna have half of the Democrat Party thinking Donald Trump suffers from Joe Biden dementia. It's completely ridiculous. But the most ridiculous part is how they actually fall for this stuff. This political blindness, this inability to use basic critical thought and analysis when presented with these bogus narratives. And speaking of bogus narratives, here's another one. As they continue to push this hashtag Trump dementia narrative or Donnie dementia narrative, this week Democrats also posted this clip of Donald Trump.
But you have a better chance of being struck by lightning than hitting a whale with your boat. There has only been, listen to this, one such whale killed off the coast of South Carolina in the last 50 years. But on the other hand, their windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. Nobody does anything about that. They're washing up on shore. I saw it this weekend. 3 of them came up. You wouldn't see it once a year. Now they're coming up on a weekly basis. The windmills are driving them crazy. They're driving the whales, I think, a little batty. And
with a bunch of leftists captioning that clip with all kinds of insults. Kyle Kulinski from Secular Talk says, Trump incoherently babbles about whales and windmills. Haha, what an idiot. Here's Trump talking about windmills and whales. Dementia Donnie at it again. Except if you literally took more than 5 seconds to do a little bit of research on what it is that Trump was talking about, it turns out he may actually have a point.
The genesis of this whole study dates back to several months ago in December and January. There was a significant uptick in whale deaths occurring in New Jersey and New York. And the public started to become very concerned that there was a relationship between those deaths and offshore wind activity that was happening in that same ocean area.
Again, ignore the context of what Donald Trump was talking about, like they've done many times before. Ignore the actual context, try to take the statement and paint it as this ridiculous thing that's so crazy that only Donald Trump would say. He's such an uneducated moron. What a ridiculous claim, even though there's some actual merit to what he's talking about. This is what they do, friends. This is what they do. They're so utterly dishonest because they know in a world where the truth is allowed to run free, the Trump faction wins and the dishonest deep state uniparty faction loses. So they resort to these pathetic, dishonest propaganda tactics. I don't know, I guess let's just see where it goes. Apparently this guy,
American dreams over foreign profits, and a future that raises American wages, that strengthens American industry, that builds national pride and that defends this country's dignity, not squanders it all to build up foreign countries that hate us.
Yeah, that's the guy with dementia. And this guy,
my butt's been wiped.
Yeah, my butt's been wiped Joe. That guy is the competent, fit mentally capable leader. That can only exist in a Democrat propaganda vacuum, which honestly used to be a great description of Twitter if you think about it. But nowadays, well, Twitter's changed. And best of all, we have community notes. And boy, oh boy, do I love community notes. Welcome to the Democrat clown world, folks. That's the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.